Hello everyone, I hope everyone is learning the basics of C and C control structures and looping structures in a good manner. In the upcoming videos, we are going to learn functions of C programming. Yes, my dear learners, this is Dr. Sedhupathy, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science with Artificial Intelligence and Data Science, Dr. S.N.S. Rajalakshmi College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. Yes, today in this video we are going to learn and understand fundamentals of functions in C. Yes, agenda for the today's discussion will be function introduction and what is a function, which means the definition of function. A function is independent by means of how it accesses the variables, members and other operators, and different types of C functions and advantages of using functions in C. So here is the function basics. A function in C is a block of organized reusable code that performs a single related task. Every C program has at least one function which is main, also which is mandatory, and all the most trivial programs can define additional functions. When the algorithm of certain problem involves long and complex logic, it is broken into smaller, independent and reusable blocks. The small blocks of code are known by different names in different programming languages, such as a module, a subroutine, or a function, or a method. So function is independent. Here is some key point why functions are independent. It is basically completely self-contained. It is actually not dependent on any other functions. It can be called at any place of your code and can be ported to another program. Also, it is reusable. Use existing functions as building blocks for new programs. You can use the existing functions for your new programs even. Also, if you use small functions by separating big complex program, it will become very user friendly, readable, and also it will become more meaningful. And it also gives procedural abstraction by means of you can hide certain internal data in terms of separating those data inside the separate functions. Also, factoring code uses it to program on the basic concepts like divide and conquer. And a function is it actually receives 0 or more parameters, depends on how you write the function prototype. All the functions, each and every small function perform a specific, individual and unique task, depends on how the programmer or designer of the function creates the task. The function returns 0 or at least one value. No function returns more than one value. Say function is invoked, also called by name and parameters of the function. The communication basically happens between function and the invoker code, which is invoker is nothing but the calling function code is through the parameters and the return value. In C, no two functions can have the same name within same scope. If two functions are in a same name, definitely it should be in a different scope. And here is the types of functions in C. Basically, the types of functions is classified into two categories. One is library function and another one is user-defined function. Basically, we are going to get in deep interaction about user-defined function because library functions in C are predefined, pre-returned, which are already stored inside the header files. By means of using header files, we can able to invoke the predefined predefined functions in C. Here is the library function or the inbuilt function in C program system. For example, the main execution of every C program. Printf is used for displaying output, and scanf is getting or receiving input from input devices. Also there are some other math library functions which are already predefined. It's like example sine, cos, tan, float, ceil and power function, which has its unique and basic meaning. And some of the common input output library files are displayed is a clear screen and a getCH function. And here is the definition for the function. Function allows programmer to define their own function according to their requirement. And advantages of user defined functions are as follows. It helps to decompose the large program into small segments, which makes the programmer too easy to understand. The repeated code occurs in a program can be used as a function, and those functions can be called repeatedly whenever it is needed. Programmer working on a large project can divide the workload by making different functions. Advantages of using functions in C are by using functions we can avoid rewriting same logic or code again and again. We can call C functions any number of times in a program, and we can track a large C program easily when it is divided into multiple small segments, whereas if you have big simple single function, it is not an easy task to track whenever a bug occurs. Reusability is the main achievement of dividing a big complex functions into a small segment of functions. However, functions calling is always a overhead in a C program. Thank you for my dear learners for your patient listening. I will look forward more deep content about the C functions with real-time examples in the upcoming videos. Thank you once again.